Today, we are celebrating International Day of Biodiversity. Biodiversity encompasses all biological life, from the tiniest microbe to plants, fish, birds, mammals. It even includes the genetic differences between individuals of the same species. Biodiversity is so important for maintaining habitats that are strong and resilient. A diverse habitat can better withstand pressures from human activities, from climate change, from extreme weather events, and more. Today, the Biosphere staff are really excited to share with you some of our favorite nature facts.
My biosphere fact this morning is about the Islands of Georgian Bay. We commonly think of there being 30,000 islands, and indeed there are a lot, and I'm not going to count them all. But an Islands of Life study that defined an island in a certain way said that there's 22,196 islands. Now, I don't think that's counting all the little rock shoals and islets, but it's counting most of the major islands for sure. So 22,196. But regardless, those islands and all the intersecting channels and inlets into the near shore of Georgian Bay really help create the foundational biogeography for the biodiversity that we enjoy on this coast.
For Biodiversity Week, I wanted to tell you a fun fact about the trillium. We already know there are 5 different species of trilliums in the biosphere, and there are over 40 worldwide. They can be red, pink, white, green, or a variety of those colors. They can spread 2 ways, through these root networks called rhizomes that can go very far, and they attract ants to their seeds, which are high in protein, and the ants take those seeds back to their nests, planting new trilliums. So enjoy the trilliums while they last.
So a quick fact about rattlesnakes is that they're one of the only snakes that give live birth, which is really cool.
Loons are the only bird in the region with solid bones. They're not hollow like other birds. This helps them to be less buoyant, move quickly underwater, and more easily maneuver. They can stay underwater for up to 5 minutes, and their red eyes help them locate fish while submerged.
Five-lined skinks are Ontario's only native lizard species. Their bodies are similar to salamanders, but salamanders don't have scales or claws. And an interesting fact about skinks is that if a predator catches them by the tail, they can break their tails off and they'll thrash about, which will distract the predator, and then the skinks can escape. Over time, their tails will regrow. However, losing the tail causes them to lose a lot of their fat reserves that help them survive winters.
Red squirrels can tell the difference between red oak seeds and white oak seeds. Red squirrels will eat the white seeds while storing the red seeds, as white seeds decay earlier than the red seeds.
The muskie is one of the apex predators in the Great Lakes. It can grow to over 50 inches in length, and it eats just about anything from loons and ducks to other large fish and frogs.
You may have heard of the insect stonefly before. Well, stonefly is actually an order of insect that lives part of its life in the water and part of its life on land. In North America, there are 9 families and 626 different species. Let's take a look under the microscope. Stoneflies are sensitive to water pollution, so their presence in a water body indicates good water quality.
My favorite nature fact is all about chickadees. These tiny little creatures have what you can consider their own language that's so accurate other birds listen to it and follow along. So next time you're out listening to a chickadee, take note of what calls they're using. Sometimes they'll do a call that is their chickadee-dee-dee call. This has a bunch of different meanings depending how many D's there are at the end. The lesser amount of D's means that there is a threat nearby that is really imminent. So this could be an outdoor cat, a mink, something really quick that can get at the birds fast. The longer amount of D's mean that there's something that they don't particularly like around, but it doesn't pose a huge threat to them. So next time you're outside and hear the chickadee-dee-dee-dee, take a look around and see who they're talking about. It might be you.
Ontario's 8 species of bats are all insect eaters that use echolocation to help them find their food at night. Echolocation means they emit a sound through their nose or through their mouth. It bounces off of everything around them and helps them to determine what their surroundings are. Echolocation is even more interesting though when we talk about volume and frequency. The frequency of echolocation is beyond what we can hear as humans. But if we could hear it, the volume would be so loud, it'd be like a smoke alarm or even a rock concert. Can you imagine trying to have a bonfire at night with smoke detectors going off above your head?
The Georgian Bay Biosphere is renowned for its geology, and living on these rocks is an amazing diversity of plants called lichens. Lichens are actually two plants in one, made up of fungal threads wrapped around cells of algae. They exist in a symbiotic relationship. The algae make food, and the fungi provide shelter and shade. Lichens are themselves a source of food for many species, such as moose, deer, snails, and slugs. And many birds use lichens as nesting material. Now that you know more about these amazing plants, I hope you liken them.